I've been loath to get into this in too much depth thus far because I wanted to really look at it before opining. And I share some of your concerns, though I'm not sure it makes me think this is a bad move strategically. I'm actually more concerned about what DeSantis is doing from a First Amendment perspective. I actually think there's a very decent chance a court is going to strike this down as viewpoint discrimination by the government against a corporation, which is not lawful. And again, it doesn't mean it's the wrong strategic move, right? He's punching the bully in the nose. Might have to go to the principal for it, might get suspended. Doesn't necessarily mean it was the wrong thing to do. But you seem to have a more macro problem with its approach as well. So let's talk about why you think this isn't necessarily the best move for DeSantis.
Well, I have a number of problems with it.
I'm sorry, Charles, forgive me. We should define for the audience what we're talking about because I failed to outline the Reedy Creek situation.
Sure. So Florida in 1967 created an independent special district for Walt Disney World. Since that time, the independent special district program has grown enormously. There were 6 that were created before 1968, one of which was Disney's. Now there are 1,288 of them. And on top of that, there are 1,844 special districts. They're slightly different. The district that Disney enjoys essentially gives it many of the powers of a county. It has the ability to own its own municipal debt, levy its own taxes, and build its own construction without applying for permits or zoning waivers. Now, this has worked extremely well. And my first issue here is that it is obvious that the reason this is being revisited is not because there was a groundswell against the status quo, but because the Disney Corporation, incorrectly in my view, came out against the Parental Rights in Education bill that's been disparagingly and erroneously called the Don't Say Gay bill. People who are defending DeSantis's move here, and that move is to rescind as of next year Disney's independent district here. We'll come on to the consequences of that. Have said, well, Disney has no right to this status, and that's true. But Disney had no right to it in 1967 or 1980 or 1990 or 2001 or 2015 either. The reason that Florida has kept this going is because it works. It's a really effective way of dealing with a strange problem. That problem being, what do you do with an enormous enterprise that is the size of San Francisco, that's twice the size of Manhattan, so big that it has 175 miles of roads inside it that's spread across 2 counties in Florida, Orange County and Osceola County. Do you hand all of the normal functions of government over to those counties? Do you push the taxes on the taxpayers, which is less of a problem now, but was a huge problem in 1967 because there's no infrastructure there? Do you allow the debt to be held by Disney, or do you allow the debt to be held by property tax holders? These are difficult questions, and they were solved with this system, which has worked pretty well. And the reason that it's been revisited is not because the Florida legislature has suddenly decided that this is a bad idea or that it's unfair. It's not really unfair. SeaWorld doesn't want or need this status. It's because the Disney Corporation spoke out against the DeSantis administration. Now, I like the DeSantis administration. I agree with almost everything that it's done. I like the Florida Republican Party. I think he's an excellent governor. I support the underlying bill strongly, and I like the fact that DeSantis signed it and did so defiantly and told Disney to pound sand. I just think that making public policy worse in revenge for the politicking of a corporation is a really bad idea. Maybe it has the First Amendment implications that you proposed. I read an interesting piece by Eugene Volokh, professor at UCLA, saying it doesn't because of the special nature of the special district program. They're not retaliating in a classical sense. They're taking away a special privilege, maybe. But morally speaking, they are retaliating. This is vengeful. This is retribution. And it's a really unusual move for DeSantis, who is very careful. He does his research. He doesn't enter into this sort of rash, Twitter-driven politics that we see so much of. And I fear that here he has.
I love Eugene Volokh, and yes, he's almost always right on all free speech issues. My concern is that DeSantis has been very clear on the reasons he's doing it. Usually you try to get out of a free speech challenge by saying, I just wanted to revisit special status of, these districts. That's all. It was a good time to do it. We're going to relook at the special status of the villages. I'm going to relook at the special status of Disney. And, I'm the chief executive now, and I thought it was a good idea. But he's made very clear this is in retaliation for their viewpoint. I mean, he said specifically, I'm just not comfortable having that type of agenda get special treatment in my state. Talking about its position on the Don't Say Gay bill, so-called Don't Say Gay, and its wokeness. I mean, it is shoving its wokeness down our throat. You're against it. I'm against it. He's against it. And so it's pretty clear if a legal challenge were to come, he wouldn't be able to get out of it by saying it wasn't retaliatory. It was very clearly retaliatory. It's just the fact that they were starting with special privileges is what Volokh is saying, would make this fall outside of the First Amendment. I'm just worried because it seems to me the left, if there's some newfound way of punishing corporations for their, political views, and usually that's expressed through contributions, the left is going to do this every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I mean, they're going to be doing it at the federal level too. And so if this is paving that road, I think we should pump the brakes a little.
Well, I think that's right. Conservatives who disagree with me, which seems to be almost all of them, will say, yeah, you don't understand. They already do this. They already try to crush us. The corporations are already infested by this DEI woke agenda, and we have no choice but to use every tool at our disposal. And then they suggest that anyone who opposes this particular move, this tangential secondary move, is in some way opposed to winning or opposed to Governor DeSantis or conservatism or the advancement of social conservative ideas. But of course, that's nonsense. If you look at Florida in the last 4 years, I think I've come on your show and said this, the transformation has been dramatic. Ron DeSantis has not been sitting around doing nothing. In the last month alone, the administration has endorsed constitutional carry. That will probably come up next year in the legislature, has debated and passed and then defended this parental rights in education bill, has removed critical race theory from school curricula, has signed a 15-week abortion ban ahead of the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade. You've got the last 2 years of American life marked out by really the approach that most of the country took to COVID and the approach that Ron DeSantis took to COVID, that Florida took. Florida was singled out, and I think it got an awful lot right. And my view is that you win by winning. I mean, if you're going to do this, then do so in a much more considered way. But you win by winning, and Florida has been winning. Governor DeSantis has been winning. Conservatism has been winning. This was not the response to Disney having successfully overturned or had repealed this parental rights in education law. This was a response to Disney having lost. Disney was already vanquished on this issue. The law was signed. Polling showed that it was popular even among Democrats and popular nationally. And DeSantis had managed to isolate and marginalize Disney and tell them that he was in charge, the legislature was in charge, the people were in charge, not the Disney Corporation. And I think that to hold this up as the shibboleth, to hold this up as the thing that determines whether or not Florida is succeeding, conservatism is succeeding, or one is willing to fight for principle, is bizarre, especially because, as you say, it's destined to be messy. I don't know whether it will even happen. I don't know whether it will get bogged down in legislative deal making. I don't know whether a court will strike it down on First Amendment grounds, as you suggest they might, and they might. I do know that DeSantis had a really good record of clean, firm wins. And this just strikes me as a petulant mistake, even if I understand totally the motivations and the need to try to get corporations who are supposed to do things, run amusement parks, sell sneakers, make oil, to shut up for once.
Are the high fuel costs putting a damper on your summer vacation plans? Are you rethinking things? From higher prices at the pump to a jump in airfare, it's getting more expensive to get away for a week. But what if you could soak up those vacation vibes year-round without having to travel ever? Get yourself a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas, and you can do it. Whether you want to stay close to home this summer, or just want to extend your break, or just want to make your summer experience more enjoyable, a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas can transform your backyard into an oasis. You deserve it. It combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. Michael Phelps swim spas by Master Spas have a water current so you can swim. You can like do the laps without having a lap pool. You can do aquatic exercises, and you can just have fun with the kids. The water buoyancy will relieve pressure on aching joints. And so it's actually a very nice way to exercise. You can enjoy pure relaxation over in the massage therapy seats of the swim spa if you're just looking to take things down a notch. This is going to reinvent your family time. You're going to love it. Your family and your friends will too. Michael Phelps Swim Spas by Master Spas come in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small backyard. And since it's heated, you can use it year-round in any climate. Michael Phelps Swim Spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas. That's the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.